Welcome back to Area DMG. I'm your host, Phil Busley, the Mile High Mouth, and today we're going to take a look at how to take apart an NES. Actually, what we're going to do is just show you how to get to the internal parts of the Nintendo Entertainment System. What you're going to need is a Phillips screwdriver. A Phillips screwdriver looks like it's for screws that look a little bit like this. Let's see, let's get in close. See? Yes. This one's a little stripped, but they work for these types of screws. This is what an NES screw looks like. And there's about quite a few of these little ones inside it. They all use standard stuff. Later on, Nintendo switched to tri-hex screwdrivers for quite a bit of their items. And those are a little bit trickier to open. But for the NES, it's pretty standard. We got this NES at a garage sale recently where the person had it in a free bin. Mainly because he was having trouble with it. It wouldn't lock. Like the little cartridge wouldn't lock. But as you can tell, it locks now. Actually, that's because before I recorded this, first thing I did was open it up, find out if there's anything loose or screws loose or whatnot, tighten a bunch of stuff up. And I haven't tested it yet to see if I fixed it, but I've got a pretty good feeling about that. I've had trouble with NES stuff where you just open it up and there's a couple pins that you have to push back in, or sometimes you have to tighten a screw. Very rarely is there a real serious problem with an NES. Sometimes a part or a fuse or something will be broken, and those are pretty cheap online. In fact, actually, most of these parts go for like $3 to $4 to $5. So in all, even though we got this free, this NES, if I were to sell it for parts alone, is worth about $20 to $30 worth of parts. And these are all OEM parts, or Original Equipment Manufacturer parts. Anywho, let me talk a little bit about how to get this out. Love the back here. So the FCC ID right over here. There's your stuff over here. Nintendo Entertainment System. NES 1001. All the stuff that it uses. You don't need to remove this, but I'm going to remove it anyways. And this is where a disk drive or other expansion would have shown up on that. I usually use that for putting the screws and stuff in. There are screws here, 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 and here. And you're going to want a screwdriver that's thin, but also long enough to reach in there. Stuff that's thick like this won't work. Most electronic stuff won't work. So you want a thinner screwdriver. I have quite a few of these because I do take things apart and fix them. I do this with Game Boys and such. But yeah, since it's kind of time consuming to take out the little screws, I've already done that for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There are 6 screws, and pretty much what you do after you've done that, you don't have to worry about these screws. You don't need to worry about those at all. And you just lift. There's a clean opening. By the way, you can sell this little bay door part for about $3 plus shipping. And here's your basic array for the NES. There are additional screws if you need to go in further and fix items. The person was having trouble with this not locking properly. See, it locks sometimes. Okay, actually it locks all the time now because part of the issue was that this screw was missing. I found that screw when I turned it over, it was in the lid. And then I put it back in place. Sometimes you'll find like this little connector is broken or a spring is busted or whatnot. And that's the part that breaks the most on an NES. The parts you don't really have to worry too much about are these. Occasionally you'll see like this stuff like this break. If this breaks and some of these other items break, then you actually have to go in and repair all this stuff. Some people go in and replace these parts here because the original NES, you can outfit it with a modding kit to output in S-Video and HDMI and such. There are people who will go and buy kits and install those. There's actually a lot of empty space inside of the side of the head for the NES, which is actually really good for modifiers. Some people will go through here, they'll take these off, take this part here out of the shell, because literally what you need to do is go in here. These you can actually gently pull out, and then there's a couple base screws around here, and around these areas that you need to unscrew. And you can pretty much just lift the entire array out. And then you can do all sorts of stuff. Some people do that when they're going to spray paint these or replace them with other stuff. And some people customize and modify the NES. But yeah, it's easy peasy to get into the NES. It's literally turn it over, take out 6 screws, lift, done. I know this isn't normally what we do for the for Area DMG, but I hope you enjoyed taking a look at, well, how to get into an NES, just in case you're not sure, just in case you don't know. And if you didn't know and this helped you in some way, let me know in the comments below. Hit that like button if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and until the next video comes out, you are now caught up.